How's everybody doing? How's the audio? Can you guys hear me? I listened back to the stream last time and my voice was super quiet and the music kind of drowned it out, so I'm hoping this time the settings are a little better. If they're not, please, please, please tell me. And I can make some adjustments to various microphones and audio tracks. That's good to hear. Okay. So, I think for this stream I was going to start off by working on this drawing a little bit. The 2-year anniversary for Looking Glasses is somehow in about 2 weeks exactly, so I need to do this drawing. But I think in a little bit we can do some, once I'm warmed up, we can do some drawing requests also. And at the end of the stream I have something super exciting to show you guys, so. I started working on this yesterday and it's partially done. Whoa, I just got some sort of notification that is completely blocked out by the various frames. But thank you, Kyra, for following. Let me see if I can move that alert box so that I can see it next time. Alright. I'm going to do some drawing. So the idea behind this one was I asked for suggestions over on Tumblr for what the gang should be doing in this one after last year's summertime lake adventure, and I think Bleak, it was you who suggested autumnal campfire, right? And also Sir Liberian, who suggested doing something at the lake, but in the autumn also, I think. I'm maybe misremembering. So we have the gang. They are having some campfire fun. And I'll do that sort of crazy perspective thing. Oh, hey! That's Patchwork, right? Or is this someone else? I forget what people's Twitch names are. Hi, it's nice to see you. Glad you could make it. It seems like most of the audience is on UK time right now. I am only still a little bit on UK time, but not too jet lagged, which is good. So yesterday I didn't quite get around to drawing Des, so I'm going to start with her. That's not a cat. It's a dog. But yes, I have to bust out my 3D furry head models anytime I gotta draw these folks. Yes, I do use the same dog face for Rousey, Susie, Lancer, and... not Lancer. Des and Noelle. Lancer gets his own special cat face. Here, you can see it there. It's less useful for Lancer because I don't really have to figure out eyes, but still good for like muzzle shape and all that. So how's everybody doing? I know it's kind of late over there. Oh no, Patrick, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. I hope it wasn't all the public transport. No, I'm still sorry to hear that you're not feeling too well. It's rough. I was so surprised that we didn't catch anything at the convention. There were so many people there, and comic conventions are like... everyone who goes to them gets sick afterwards. That's just like a thing that happens. The con crud. And so I was certain that we were going to get sick. Or the party. Yeah, we went to a... so for those of you who aren't in touch with me regularly, I went to the UK last week to go to Thought Bubble, which is a big convention for comics creators. And specifically comics creators. There aren't any movies or actors or anything, so it's really just a big comics haven, and it's really fun. And they throw this mid-con party that was the best. It was really great. But yeah, I'm shocked that we didn't get sick because we were on so many people. On enough planes to get there, and yeah, it would have could have been bad, especially because we were there for another few days after the convention. I was a little worried we were going to end up in our hotel room being kind of sick. But thankfully, that didn't happen. You know, I wish I had a crossed out sign with Benedict Cumberbatch on it that I could just, like, keep around. Have I mentioned on stream before that he nearly ran me over with a golf cart once? I mean, it's not the most exciting story. I was on a movie set, and he was in a golf cart trying to make a complicated 3-point turn, and no matter where I went, I was always in the way. So he kept like nearly hitting me with a golf cart, which has been the extent of our interactions. I don't actually interact with actors all that much. Occasionally, part of my job does require that, but so I don't have always the most exciting stories, but I do have some. Yeah, Disney is definitely trying to kill me. They have it out for me. Yeah, as Gun says, the hours alone will try to kill me. You gotta love a 12-hour day, you know. Oh yeah, Bleak, are you back from your trip yet? Oh, that's very exciting. Has it been fun so far? Yeah, Patrick, this trip was really peak. I mean, every part of it was really good. Definitely sad to be back. Have to go to work. Whoa, Bleak, that's really cool. That sounds like so much fun. Getting to snorkel over ruins. Yeah, maybe we should do a Looking Glasses meetup in Greece. Whoa, that's so cool though. You get to just that the ruins are just right there, and yeah, we're really sorry that we missed you too. It was very sad that there was, you know, but it just means that we'll have to come back next year or something. Plus, we had such a good time at Thought Bubble. There's no way we're not coming back, and we'll be around. So, you know, UK folks, if you wanna, if you wanna meet the author, just be around in early November in the UK somewhere, and or go to Thought Bubble. A win-win. You get to meet a million comics creators, and they're all super cool. I will say the problem with going to Thought Bubble is that you come back and you have about 1 million books. We had both prepared knowing that we were going to buy books there, and were shocked by the number of books that we purchased. It was bad. Hey, I had a hard time with my books too. I have so many. My backpack was way too heavy. Oh, hey, Sir Librarian. I see that you're following now. Thank you. Hi, I'm waving. Yeah, picking up books in London was also something. We ended up with a lot of them. I haven't quite unpacked them yet, but once I do, I may have to take some pictures because it's impressive and terrifying. I have this problem right now where I keep buying books, but... So we moved a few months ago, right? Like 5. And have been doing renovations to the house, so we haven't really unpacked things. And I have these bookshelves that are modular. They're like crates, and you can stack them up and sort of build up more bookcases as you go, which is great because I purchased a lot of books. But in the move, I haven't really wanted to set them up, so I've stacked them into just a cube in the middle of my room. It's quite a large cube, which makes like 2/3 of the shelves completely inaccessible because they're buried under the other shelves. And I keep buying books, and they're piling up on other surfaces now because I can't put them in the cube. And it's sort of scary, actually, to see how many books I've acquired since we moved, and I'm a little afraid to add the comics from the trip to that pile. Yeah, Bleak, the Comics Exchange was great. That was a really good suggestion. We found a lot of good stuff there. It's actually the only place we found any Doctor Who stuff, so... Well, I mean, you know, of the stuff that we were looking for. Gunn is about to roast me in the chat for saying we didn't find Doctor Who stuff elsewhere. We did. Yeah, right. But we did see some Animorphs, which was very exciting. And I was able to get rid of some of my Animorphs, which was nice. Thankfully, the Animorphs was not trapped inside the cube. Although I will say, the day before or the day of our flight, I realized that it was the day before, I couldn't find my passport. And the last time I had seen it, it was in one of my bookshelves. And so I was convinced that it was in the cube somewhere. Um, and I had to dismantle the entire thing because the shelf that I thought it was on was at the very bottom in the back corner against the wall. So I had to remove every shelf. And then it wasn't there. It was in a box in my closet. Yeah, Gen's a big time Doctor Who collector. They have a very cool collection of, I mean, incredibly cool collection of expanded universe Doctor Who stuff. Genuinely, probably one of the, like, rarest collections, at least in our state, but potentially in the United States. Yeah, but I think those two rare books make your collection pretty rare, I think. Alright, chat, I've got a question for y'all. Um, I need outfits for these goobers. Any thoughts on what Lancer or Des or Susie should be wearing? I already kind of gave Rousey like a poncho thing. Although I'm debating about changing that into like a coat and scarf, maybe. Um, but I need something goofy for Lancer to wear, and I'm not really sure what's both goofy and autumnal. Oversized parka. Yes. Big puffy bomber jacket, also a good idea. I always get sort of hung up on making outfits for Lancer because I feel like they should be silly, and I forget that I make them silly by adding interesting prints usually. Yeah, I could give Susie some big cargo shorts or something. I've already put her in these boots, so I may leave those, but yeah, I can give her some big shorts. Oh yeah, Blake Patrick made a really good cake. It was quite tasty. Oh no, it's still in your backpack. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear about the multi cake. Well, it was very delicious while it lasted. Sorry, if I'm not doing anything right now, it's because I'm looking up images of parkas to try to give myself some ideas. Yeah, I like the parka. That's good. Gives me some space to play around with shapes, which I always like. And then I can give him like a fun t-shirt or something under that. Anyone got any thoughts on something I could give to Des? She needs my typical style guide for her is like truck driver, um, like, sort of workman clothes, but stylish. It was fun being somewhere with actual cold weather for a minute. We got back and it's chilly here, but it's not like cold. Um, I am not sure how to convert this into Celsius for European folks, but it's like, I don't know, it's 40 degrees out during the day, which is above freezing. So it's cold, but not like very cold. And our last couple of days in the UK, it was so like bitterly cold out and windy that it was kind of fun. It was nice. It was nice getting to wear like cool jackets and stuff that I don't always get to here in town. Out in the desert. Oh, if it's autumn, he should be wearing like a pumpkin themed button up. I think that would be cute. Now I might have to give Lancer this parka in the comic itself. I kind of like it. He's got a big puffy coat, but it's not. It doesn't have a cool fuzzy hood, so. And I'll put him in his Crocs, obviously, because the Crocs are important to his character. I know they're not canon, but they're canon to me. Oh, wait, but they're canon to Looking Glasses, which is the important thing, because this is about Looking Glasses and not the rest of whatever game this comes from. Yeah, Toriel would absolutely get Lancer some, like, actual warm clothes. I feel like he wouldn't be good at dressing himself for cold weather, and yeah, she would definitely want to keep him warm. Oh, that's so sweet. Now I kind of want to draw a comic about it, but I've got too many other things to do. I'll give Susie her sort of typical leather jacket for this. I struggle between the impulse to be like, these kids need different fashion all the time in every picture, and being like, you know, I don't think Susie would own too many different jackets. And yes, again, Rouse is eating a s'more, but it does look like a grilled cheese. I had wanted everyone to be doing something, and my initial thing was Rouse having a hard time eating a s'more. Not sure why. But then he wasn't looking at Lancer telling this ghost story or whatever Lancer's doing, and it looked kind of weird, so he's still having a hard time, but it's less obvious. You can see my initial sketch. Rouse was a little more surprised by the gooiness of the marshmallow. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Hey, Dawn. I didn't see you show up. It's nice to see you. Oh, yeah. Dawn, you can see Susie is burning all of the marshmallows right now. This is going to have 4, and they are all going to be just in the fire. And yeah, Patrick, I absolutely agree. I think that Rouse would have a hard time with the like sort of overwhelming tastes and textures of lightener food. I also think that the darkeners would get like filled up very quickly by like actual food with substance, so they wouldn't be able to eat very much light food. It's the kind of thing I wish I had more time to do stuff with in the comic itself, but that's sort of less relevant to the current plot we've got going on. I suspect Des, of this group of people, is the only one who's dressed appropriately for camping, or knows how to dress well for camping. I feel like Ral's would be warm, but also like way too fashionable for the occasion, right? Like, would bring the most impractical but good-looking clothes. Meanwhile, Susie would bring just whatever, and then be cold but wouldn't say anything about it. Lancer's Lancer. Meanwhile, Des, I think, would actually enjoy camping and would wear the appropriate outfits. Sorry, Patrick, I missed your comment about Raza eating a grilled cheese and experiencing ego death. You are correct. That is hilarious. And yes, Don, Lancer is getting a pebble in his crock, and probably not saying... I feel like he wouldn't complain about something like that, but... it would happen. I feel like I did a bad job on Des's legs during my sketch, and I need to fix that. Oh, hey No Pam, it's nice to see you. Sorry you can't stay. I'm working on the year 2 anniversary image. It's the gang, and they're hanging out and toasting marshmallows and telling scary stories. So long. Thanks for stopping by. It's always nice to see you. So when I was setting up for the initial plan for this drawing, I strongly debated whether or not I should include Chris, and because like I don't know, it feels wrong to draw the gang without Chris. I feel sort of bad about it, and I mean, obviously my comic is the gang without Chris, but like there's plot reasons for that. Whereas when they're having fun hanging out, it feels sad. But the brief tends to be like it's about the characters in the comic having a good time, and Chris isn't in the comic yet, so I decided against it. But that said, then I was like, should I include Stranger Noel? Well, I actually do have kind of a plan. So the idea is that they're sitting on the like shore on the beach of the lake that they were playing in the last anniversary image, and there's going to be woods all around like this, and you'll be able to see the stars up ahead, and it'll be a dark night. But my idea was that I could have, like, Stranger Noel lurking in the forest. I also kind of wanted to include the Bird's Nest Titan, but they're not in the well world, and it seemed a little bit too... I'm going to have a crow flying over, but that's more symbolic than literal. Okay, having her lurk in the water would actually be really funny. Because, like, even your evil shape-shifting villain deserves to have a good time in the downtime images, right? Like, I think Stranger Noel deserves a break from being horrible to Susie. But also, she's horrible to Susie, so, like, does she really deserve a good time? Undertale would suggest yes. The general philosophy of these games, I think, believes that even people who are bad deserve redemption, but floor s'mores. Sorry, I just looked over at chat. Yeah, that's a good idea. She deserves the leftover s'mores, and perhaps experiencing joy for once in her life would make her not be mean to our cast. That's true. Um, Sir Librarian, maybe they wouldn't enjoy the burnt Susie marshmallows. I guess that's the real question. I don't know how to make polls or anything, but quick poll for the chat. Do you like burnt or unburnt marshmallows? Because I know that this is. I know some of you like burnt marshmallows and some of you don't, so I'm curious. Or what level of toastiness do you like on your marshmallow? I personally am a lightly toasted, just browned marshmallow kind of person. Sorry, I'm catching back up on chat. Hey Susie, how come your mom lets you have two Noels? Yeah, very good. That would be the funniest possible ending for Looking Glasses if it was like, and then Susie had two girlfriends. Especially given my particular Susie shipping headcanons, it would be very silly of me to end it that way. Sorry again, I should really set up my Twitch account to let you swear more often. But I do think it's funny every time you get censored. Yeah, if the network cancels me, I'll just polyamory for everyone. Ooh, hold up. Sir Librarian, I think you're onto something. Self-cessed Noel. I feel like that is an unexplored ship in the Deltarune fandom, and I would probably get cancelled for it somehow, but yeah. it would be a brave new direction. Because people already love the direction of my comics so much, I think I should, I should just add some more unlikable things to it. Maybe that's why Stranger Noelle is so intent on breaking up Susie and Noelle. It's so that she can get together with Noelle. Yeah, I mean, so far we don't know what Stranger Noelle's motives are. Maybe that's it. All right, so I think I'm going to be done with this drawing for now. But does anybody have any drawing requests for me? I could do some doodles. I'm pretty well warmed up now, and patchwork. The idea of having a bunch of stranger versions of the characters show up to just cause shipping drama would be very funny, actually. I could probably take Looking Glasses in a different direction. The Looking Glasses multiverse. Us for depressed teen furries. Yeah, I mean... ah. Stranger Noelle in a trebuchet. I can draw that. Dawn's rendition was so good. I was so pleased with that. Of course, now I need to look at pictures of trebuchets. In middle school, I did a project for like a weird extracurricular activity thing where you do like science related competitions. And one of them was to build a trebuchet, like a little one. And so I have some experience making them, but yeah, I still really got to get links to that up on the website so I can share that with website exclusive folks. I don't think there are many, but I think some people are just following the website, and I'd like for them to see your amazing work. I wasn't very good at building trebuchets, I should say. I don't think I did very well in that competition. It was not my forte. but it was fun. This is perhaps not the best drawn trebuchet in existence. Sorry, did my playlist stop? I think it did. Alright, start it over. Yes, again is correct. That is when I made a bunch of crossbows also for a different competition. Every year it was like build a different thing, and it wasn't always medieval siege weaponry, but one year it was like, can you launch a little balsa wood airplane out of a. They called it like any sort of elastic launcher, and I got it into my head that I would make crossbows. And so I did. And yeah, I made a bunch of crossbows. It was pretty fun. And my school had apparently no problem with me wandering all over campus with crossbows, which I think is kind of a failing on their part, actually. I felt a little bit like they should care more. I think the proportions on this are probably wrong. I think it needs to be taller if that weight is going to clear the. Yeah, I'm not really sure why my mind went straight to crossbows, but uh, they're fun. They weren't like the most functional because they had like elastic instead of an actual like flexible wood. So I think over time they degraded, but they were fun. And then we took them to a national event, and they all broke in my suitcase. So they didn't do very well. Yeah, the children do desire violence. Oh, I'd forgotten that you did that. I do remember lending you a crossbow for a thing. Ooh, Kyra, that's useful information. Because those pieces, the like long stick piece Lego pieces, are kind of flexible, right? Oh, I gotta get my furry heads. I need to draw this head at the right angle. Oh god. I will say the Clip Studio Paint's controls for 3D objects are not my favorite. They could use some work. Oh no, Kyra. That is really cool though. I always think it's neat seeing people make like cool machines out of Lego. There's a YouTube channel I really like called I think it's Brick Engineering. I might be misremembering that, but they like set themselves these challenges and then try to build little Lego robots to solve them. Occasionally I set up one of these 3D models at what I think is an interesting angle, and then I realize that it's essentially front on, and drawing furry heads front on always sucks. They always look weird. Yeah. Wait. Bleak. Wait, so they move Lego basketballs around? What's that for? I mean, to be fair, those competitions I did in middle school were essentially that. Like, here's a weird task, and it's about the friends you make along the way and the science you learn. Oh god, Stranger Noel's hair. I feel like a lot of the characters in Looking Glasses, I guess, specifically, but maybe also Deltarune, have these very sort of top-heavy designs. Like, there's a lot of elements happening on their head, specifically. I was thinking about this when I was drawing Rousey yesterday, who I'm calling Rousey accidentally instead of Rousey. Sorry, people, you're getting a peek into my bad pronunciation of this character we all like. But I was thinking about this, that, like, he's got these, he's got horns and glasses and like fluff and the ears and the like fangs. Um, and so like every time I draw him, I'm like, oh, I'm done with the face, and then I'm like, oh shoot, there's like another thing. And I feel that way about Noelle and Des also. Like they both have a lot going on in their heads, and this might be my fault for sort of adding elements in the for like the well world and things. Like I've given Noelle a kind of more complicated haircut than I might have needed to. And both of them have like Noelle's got like the braid crown, and Des has like the wheat crowned laurel wreath thing that I killed instantly. Um, and yeah, they've just got very top heavy designs, which I don't know if there's a real solution to that or if I'm saying anything interesting about it, but I think about it a lot. When I draw them specifically, because then I'm like, oh no, I need to do Noelle's hair, which is annoying. Oh, and they both got those ears that are like... I always struggle to get their ears right. For some reason I struggle differently on Des and Noelle. Which is strange, because they have like the same face shape and same ears. And of course, to top things off, I've gone and added a million design elements to their actual costumes, so... I gotta do the well world bubbles, obviously. Alright. Well, now that that exists in the universe, anyone else have any drawing requests? I figured that was the most in character way for Stranger Noelle. She's always gonna twist things around a little bit, right? Yeah, I don't really rant about comics littering too much on Tumblr, do I? It's yeah. You should hear me at home. I have a lot of thoughts. Ooh, Kyra, that sounds fun. And I'm gonna do it in a sec after I get done drawing this Kirby for Sir Liberian, because I don't think it's gonna take me very long. I actually don't remember what Kirby looks like, and that's kind of sad because they are just a ball. What does their face look like? Okay. There we go. That's oh, hands. Has hands. It's a an Izzy Hands Kirby for Sir Liberian. Kirby's. The thing that Gen is referring to is that I promised to draw them some fan art of one of the Eighth Doctor. Well, I promised to draw them some fan art of Eighth Doctor Adventures characters for their birthday, which was many months ago, and I started and I overcommitted, and it hasn't been finished yet because I need to draw a bunch of tigers playing violins. And I just haven't really had time to do that for some reason. Alright, so I was going to draw Ralsei looking at a glass of water, which sounds like fun. Yeah, Gen just requested any fan art, and I was like, what if I drew 4 characters, 6 characters, and a bunch of tigers? And, yeah, that didn't go well. And it's my fault that it didn't go well, so I really ought to finish that for Christmas. So a few years back, I made this, like, last year maybe? I made this promise to myself. I was like, oh, oh no, this couldn't have been last year. 2023 maybe. Anyway, I guess that is last year. I was like, I'm going to draw fan art for something, not Deltarune, once a month all year, and then I'll have 12 pieces of fan art that I can potentially sell as prints if I want to go to a comic like table at a comic convention. And I did one drawing all year. That was that Rauru from Zelda thing that I did whenever that came out, so it would have been that year. And slowly over the past couple of years, I've been building up a little bit of a portfolio with some actual fan art for other pieces in it. But partially, I want to be able to finish anything. I want to be able to finish this EDA, this Doctor Who stuff, so that's one more thing. But yeah, like I did some Locked Tomb artwork that has never seen the light of day. I got like up to rendering, I think, on both pieces, and then they just like didn't have time to finish them. It's sort of the problem with working on an ongoing webcomic is that I kind of it eats up all of my time to do other things. So my actual art portfolio hasn't expanded very much. But when I do gift art for friends, it gives me an opportunity to do some of that actual fan art that I've been wanting to do. Because sometimes it's really nice to sit down and do a drawing and just like finish it. Like, I don't have to do like 6 different panels. I just have to do like draw one person doing one thing, and it's not even like a weird like complicated action. I really enjoy that, so I should do more just like regular fan art. Of course, I'm gonna do all of these. The things that excite me and make me want to do fan art for them are frequently not things that I think the general Comic-Con going public are probably going to be very invested in. But it's just because I like weird, obscure things. Deltarune's not weird and obscure, but perhaps an entire table full of Deltarune prints isn't really going to be the largest draw for people who are into other things that aren't just Deltarune. We did when we were at this convention. I ran into one person who recognized my Ralsei pin and was like, "Oh, I'm really into Deltarune." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, well, have I got a webcomic for you?" Ooh, Bleak, that is tempting. I really love seeing the Cult of the Lamb stuff that you reblog occasionally, because I enjoyed that game, and the fan artists for that are really good. And it wouldn't be too far out of my skill set to do something like that. I've got, I can draw a goat, and lambs aren't that different. Okay, I need a head. And not that head. Yeah, I didn't. When I was at the convention, I didn't see any Deltarune stuff, which I wasn't expecting to because it's not really that kind of like fandom convention. It tended to be more like original work. Um, but I was, you know, I wasn't sure. Maybe I would. I did see some Undertale stuff at a booth, and I like scoped them out to see if they had any Deltarune things, but alas, they didn't. And I didn't go up to them and say, "Hey, do you like Deltarune?" I should have done more word of mouth on my word of mouth advertising on my fan fiction webcomic. But alas, I did not. I also neglected to tell a couple of the like big name comics people we were talking to who do know us because of our like fandom work. I was sort of planning on telling them about the comic, and then I kind of chickened out at the last minute, which is too bad. I really should have shared the comic with them because I think they would have enjoyed it. Because a lot of my comics craft skills have been developed by reading their comics, and I think they would probably recognize that given the number of elements of borrowed isn't quite the right word, but you know, been inspired by. Ramsay's fangs always kind of alter his expressions. It's nice when he's when he's smiling because the fangs make him look like he's smiling. But when I want him to be frowning, it's actually quite difficult because the fangs kind of get in the way. Gen's making fun of me about the fonts that I use in Looking Glasses because I think I was when Looking Glasses was first starting. I think I mentioned this before, but one of the first things I do is I do design development. So I like go through and I make a logo and I like figure out what fonts I'm going to use and stuff like that. And I was looking for inspiration for that, and so I was looking through this comic called Young Avengers. This specific run by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey, which is very good. It's an incredibly good comic. And there are a couple of sequences in it that I really like and have some great design work in them. And so I was looking at that, and I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of want to do something along this line. And then I went out and I picked some fonts and I designed a thing. And then I went back and looked at the comic and I was like, oh shit, this is like the same font. Like, it's not even... I was trying to be inspired by it, but I managed to track down like the exact same sans serif font. It isn't in italics in the comics, so I don't feel too bad about it, but it is sort of funny that it's like so close. So if you ever read Young Avengers, there might be some bits where you're like, that looks a lot like Looking Glasses. And if you see those, no, you didn't. Ken thinks I love sans serif fonts like too much, And it's not true. I like serif fonts too. I use them occasionally. Maybe not as much as I use sans serifs, but hey. Ah, Bleak. Yes, we are going to see Azrael in Looking Glasses. Probably not right away. Azrael's still in college, because it's only been 2 years. So Azrael's a junior in college right now. But we will see him. And I mean, we've already seen a little bit of him in that one panel on page something or other. According to my comic app, it's page 36, but that's not even a little bit accurate to either the website or Tumblr anymore. So it's probably page like 30. Yeah, probably page 30, because I added 6 pages to this document for reasons that I'll tell you about later at the end of this stream. Yeah, Gen is right. That is the page right before the gang gets interrupted, or Susie and Rousey. I'll remember to say it right. Get interrupted and have to cut their Rousey's backstory short. Sometimes I forget that I read and reread this comic so much and so much of it lives in my head, that like I have to remind myself to remind my audience about plot beats before they become relevant again. When I have dropped little hints for things earlier. I guess we saw Azrael also on a few pages before that, like when Rousey is explaining kind of like what the Titans are, and we see Azrael like going to sleep with the stuffed Sham plush. Because I like the headcanon that Sham was Azrael's stuffed toy before they ended up in the supply closet. That probably also won't be canon, but I think it's cute. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. I forgot about Rousey's glasses. Which is like an important design element, and in the name of my comic a little bit. Kyra, yeah, my notes aren't... Yeah, they're very disorganized and scattered across multiple documents. I started off writing the script for Looking Glasses in just like a text document on my desktop, um, which eventually turned into a Google Doc on my work account because I wanted to be able to jot down notes while I was at work. And then that has turned into four Google Docs, all still on my work account, to keep track of the different parts because the script keeps changing. Um, and also a bunch of sticky notes on one of my now disassembled bookshelves. Wow, his arm is really big. Okay. Whoops. I could just call that perspective. Yeah, Kara. It's nice having that little like notes app on your phone or whatever where you just jot down things. And I've done that too. I've got a couple of those, and periodically I'll go back into them and be like, oh, hey, that's a really good idea. I should remember to do that. Let's see. I want light. And then out of the light, get like a little rainbow. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of arm wrestling, just like working at the one arm. It's Susie's fault. She wants to do arm wrestling every day, and so he's been getting really fit. Actually, that's sort of my headcanon for like the opening of Looking Glasses, where they're boxing, is that like Susie wants to work out all the time, and she wants a workout partner, and Rouse, who I don't think is necessarily naturally athletic, has been roped into hanging out with her every day, which isn't obviously he wants to, but he's developed some actual I don't know if muscle mass is the right word, but he's gotten slightly more athletic in the intervening years. All right, what should I draw next? Ken wants Des doing hot butch shit. What exactly is hot butch shit in this case? And while you're telling me what hot butch shit is, I'm going to draw a quick dapper squid for Dawn. Because that's easy. Oh wait, did I do a dapper squid the last time? I can draw a little squid quick. Nope, that squid looks freaked out. I'm not gonna draw Des going deer hunting. That seems, yeah, that's 8 temples. I don't know, something about that seems wrong. Maybe she goes human hunting. In order to make this squid dapper, I'm going to give them a little fascinator, probably. Since the other one I think I gave a top hat to. You know, it has occurred to me that I don't really know what a fascinator looks. I mean, they all kind of look different, but I should probably look at pictures. Yeah, okay. They all look weird. There we go. That's a dapper squid. And now I'm going to draw Des doing hot butch shit. Hey! Yes, I was maybe typing hot butt shit into Google. No, I wasn't actually. I was typing car repair. Person doing car repair into Google. This tends to be a lot of my workflow, is like trying to find a picture of a person doing the action that I'm trying to draw, because as it turns out, people look weird doing things. Oh, I now have to draw a stupid car again. Didn't I have to do that last time, and I didn't put much effort into it? and we all thought that was funny. And now I need to actually make it look like a vehicle. Or maybe I'll just give it teeth and it's a thing. Why do we think I can draw cars? Alright. Yeah, that's what the inside of a car looks like, right? Yeah, Susie car. Give it teeth and a bad attitude. The picture I've looked up is at a kind of odd angle, and now I'm struggling. Oh no. Again, I did not see the picture that had a tiny carnival under a car hood with the caption, I see your problem is the artist doesn't know what goes inside a car. But that's very good. This may not be my best work, y'all. Nope, that's definitely not. one of the things that's sort of annoying about 3D models in Clip Studio is that the perspective stays the same when you move the object around in the 3D space, which is useful if you want to put like multiple models in a space. But it's kind of annoying if you want to like move your model to somewhere else on the canvas, because it'll stay in the same, like, it'll move about the perspective, so it'll like change angles. And there are ways around that, but I always forget to do that, and then I move the model and suddenly it's at a different angle and I gotta reposition it. Thanks, Sir Librarian. I am good at art. I'm not good at drawing cars very much, but that is something I'm going to need to practice. So someday I will have to actually be good at drawing cars, especially for the other comic. You can see part of my process is just sort of trying out various eyebrow shapes until something kind of feels right. I like to go and I look at those, like, people do like expression memes where they'll draw like a bunch of expressions, and I'll like kind of page through those to try to find sort of the expression that I like, or sort of the vibe I'm going for, and then try to, so that I can see how eyebrows work. Mostly. I did just have a moment of, haven't I drawn Des already today? But that was for the other thing, not for this. She's got beefy arms, which maybe wasn't intentional, but I'm sure Gen will appreciate. Let's give her a tank top. If we're really getting into the hot butch shit of it all. And she can tie her flannel around her waist. You'd think after drawing Lancer's, like, jumpsuit arms tied around his waist for a million pages, I would be better at that, but I just kind of vibe it every time. I also want to have. I want Des to have swole arms generally, because hell yeah, giving all the ladies in my comics swole arms. But sometimes I'm like, I need her to not have the exact same body type as Susie, so I have to adjust them a little bit. I'm trying to go for that, character design thing. Let the characters have different silhouettes. Sure, Des has big antlers, which I forgot to draw, but wait. I may have forgotten something about Des's character design that is relevant to the other drawing, and kind of relevant to this one, but I need to look at some comics pages really quickly. This isn't relevant to drawing right now, it's just for my own. Okay, well, that's good to know. Sorry, I'm laughing at your heavy lifting comma again. Oh wow, it's 2 already, huh? Or it's been 2 hours. I should probably wrap up soon then, because I suspect it's fairly late for a number of you. Should I... Okay. Chat, should I do one more drawing, or do y'all need to go to bed? Since it's been a few hours now. And here we go. Here's Des. She's doing something to a car and also lifting a weight at the same time. That counts as hot butt shit, right? Alright, I can do one more drawing then. What do y'all want to see? Ah, I see. Alright. Lancer and Susie Cotton Candy. I can make that happen. I was about to be like, it's a minute since I've drawn Lancer and Susie, but it was yesterday. For this. My Google search was two people eating cotton candy. AI has really ruined my ability to find good reference photos because it's always some AI stuff. Ooh, wait, I'm gonna have. I should be smoking a cigarette. I feel like that's appropriate for this. Is it a cigarette? Is it a lollipop? Is it a vape? I'll let you decide. We're actually going to find out the answer to that question in canon sometime during this part. During part 3 of the comic. Does Des smoke? Guess we'll find out. Or is it chalk? Ooh. Bleak, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Maybe it's not the smartest plan to smoke a cigarette while you're working on a car. Death doesn't care. She's doing hot butt shit. There's no OSHA there. And my playlist has run out again. Hot Butch OSHA. Yeah, maybe I'll do that next time. Yeah, this is looking a little rough. That's okay. That's how drawings start. Sometimes I start a sketch and it looks great and it's perfect, and then other times I start a sketch and I'm like, wow, that doesn't look good even a little bit. What am I doing? That's usually at the start and I warm up and get better, but today it's at the end. The music I got for today is very relaxing, which is maybe a problem. Like, it's unobtrusive, but I wish I spent a really long time yesterday looking at like royalty-free music playlists. Trying to find one that's both unobtrusive but also good, and I didn't really find anything, and so I queued this one up just sort of randomly. I had not listened to it before, like 5 minutes before the stream started. I have some downloaded royalty-free music that I played the last time, but I felt like it's a little too variable in tone to be good for a live stream. So I wanted something a little more on the lo-fi end of things, and I don't think that's really what this is, but it's not bad. I didn't have to make this drawing so small. I can make it bigger. Is also a large part of my process is just sort of angling one of these heads in a direction and then being like, no, not that direction. That doesn't look right. And moving it 1 millimeter. Sorry, Patrick, that you caught a glimpse of Stranger Noel getting trebucheted again and lost it. I should include more, I don't know, explicit comedy beats in my comic, as opposed to just being a downer all the time. Yeah, too sexy for the trebuchet. I've actually gotten so used to drawing Susie with the like hood on her Well-World outfit that I've actually kind of forgotten how to draw her hair. To be fair, I've always had trouble with it, but I'm so used to drawing kind of, you know, like Ralsei, who doesn't really have long hair, and so I don't really have to worry about how hair works. And then Susie was wearing a hood, it was easy. Every time I have to draw Stranger Noel's like weird crown braid, it's difficult. I want it to be clear that Susie has just eaten her entire giant thing of cotton candy in one bite. It's not like I think Lancer would be any more restrained necessarily, but see, this is why I'm sad that Lancer didn't really get more of a role in Chapter 2. He could have gone to the carnival bit of Cyber World with Cyber City? I got it confused with the song title for a second. With Ralsei and Susie. And it would have been cute. Just gonna give Lancer the default outfit that I give Lancer, which is the matching jackets. Yeah, I think that. I think that works. Yeah, I'm gonna be sad about that if Lancer doesn't really get. Yeah, I think I might have missed that promo too, maybe. But I will be sad about Lancer getting left behind. I know it's gonna happen, I know it's gonna keep happening, but like... I love him, and I want him to be hanging out with the gang. Alright, well, I think that's gonna be it for drawing. Oh, that's interesting, Patchwork. I will have to track that down, I guess. But, before I go, do you guys want to see something cool? So you know how, those of you that follow me on Tumblr, which I think is most of you, you saw that I was having some trouble with a company who was supposed to deliver something to me before I left on this trip and wasn't able to. it was a printing company because I wanted to print out some things before going on this trip. So you can see I've done a print of this image because I've always wanted this one. I made it to be a print. This was the drawing I did for Bleak after they correctly guessed the movie that the gang is watching on their sleepover. But the other big one that was causing the most problems in getting these prints to me on time was not this either. Anyway, I did some postcards also, and little business cards. Yeah, I will say the print colors turned out so good. I was really expecting that pink to not work on that print, but it did. I printed out some of the Runetober stuff because I always liked those drawings, especially the Ralsei as Dark Fountain. And you can see one of the little business cards that I made to advertise my webcomic. And then also these. So when I said that I was working on something, it was this. I wanted some promotional art of the characters so that I could... specifically to make the business cards, actually. That was the goal. But the big thing is... Where is it? It's this. I actually don't have a picture of the cover because I tried to upload it, and it didn't work, but I'll show you later. It's the comic. I printed it out. I printed out the first two parts. And I added some stuff to it, partially because I was planning on giving this to people who maybe haven't played or know anything about Deltarune. So I added a little bit at the beginning to kind of intro people who don't know anything about the comic to the thing. To the general ideas, so that they kind of know what's going on. Yes, and I have a little a little crow friend helped hold the comic open. This was a very small print run. I have 15 of these total, and some of them I want to hang on to. And I can't legally sell these because it's fan fiction, and you can't sell fan fiction. You also technically can't really sell fan art, but that's a bit more of a gray area, and you can kind of get around that a little bit. But yeah, you can't sell fan fiction, so I am planning on getting these to folks who want them, and I will make some announcements on that front later, but there aren't very many of them, and they are very expensive to get printed. I did this all, on my own dime. I just wanted a copy. I wanted copies to give to people at this Comic-Con to show them, some comics creators, but alas, I didn't get it in time, and instead got it when I came back. So that's a little sad, but yeah, if folks are interested, I may be sending these to them. Yeah, I wanted to show off some of the double page spreads because I think they look pretty good in print. yeah, this was my other thing is like, oh, I know some folks in the UK, and it's so cheap to ship things when you're there versus when you're across the pond and trying to ship things to the UK. So I really wanted to have them there, but next time. And of course, I've got to show off the page with the Titan, so with the bird's help, with my little crow statue's help. Yeah, but that's it. I'll post the some pictures of this later on Tumblr, which includes the cover. I don't know why the cover didn't upload. Every time I try to use Google Drive on my phone, it hates me. So for some reason, that one page didn't upload, and I forgot to check right before the stream. So. But yes, there is now a print comic in the wild, and I will probably be trying to sell those, some of those prints and postcards at some point in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. I will make an announcement. But thank you all for coming to the stream. This was really fun. I plan to do some more streams while I'm working on this piece. Because, I don't know, I think it would be fun to draw while people watch. So those may be coming up in the future. They might have less of a announced time in advance. We'll see. I'll try to warn you. Probably next weekend. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to make this a slightly more regular thing if possible. Although I know other people have lives and might not want to watch me draw for 2 hours all the time. So, but it was really fun to hang out. Thank you so much for coming. I will presumably talk to you on various apps. All right, well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all. Bye. Yes. Bye, everybody.